Hello, hello! This is Paulina from Paulina Art Stuff, and we are back for a completed pages video for the month of July 2025. It's already the time for my favorite video of the month, and this month I've done a lot of coloring. Even though I was very ill, I did so much coloring because that was all I could think of. I would sleep, color, sleep, color, sleep, and again. That's what I did all month. I also stitched a lot in bed. So yeah, let's get started. This is my bullet journal from Archer and Olive. This is where I keep track of my plans. Like I will show you some of the pages. Like I kept track since February. So I will show you a few pages, like how I set it up. Let me pull it in frame for you. Like every month I do something else. I mainly use stickers and colored papers, as you can see from books that I buy on Amazon. So yeah, every month has its own theme. So this was for May. I had more of like a aqua tones because it was May. And then June was last month. This one I was a bit not my style. And then we go into July, which is this month, and this is where I keep track of what I did which day. So that's more for myself, so that if I start the day, I'm looking if I had a whip, for instance, like today I had a whip, because today it's the 31st of July. So that way I know what I'm working on, because I never work on multiple pages at the same time unless I'm really stuck. Then maybe I've got 2 whips at the same time. So this way I know what to work on. And then here we have everything that I had planned plus everything that I added along the way during the month. And all of this whole section is added, and this one is added. And here I added like also a lot more, because I think I only had, these 2 I think I had planned. And everything else, like these I added myself, and these I added myself, because I wasn't feeling too well. So I did a lot of Disney pages. And I didn't get around to all my drag queen pages because I was just not feeling it at all. But everything else, I almost colored everything except for this hashtag, because I was just not feeling the Jack and the Beanstalk page. But yeah, I always like putting the stickers down when I finish something. That just gives me a nice feeling. So I'll put this to the side, and we will be going on this adventure of showing you all my coloring books. First, I'm gonna show you my stitchy journal. It's a sketchbook from Bailey J. It has embroidery, like really thick embroidery on the top. Excuse me. My throat is still a bit playing up again. And this was for this month. So what I usually do is I make a Disney drawing. Like last month it was this one, and this month I decided on Pocahontas. And yeah, it's a pretty easy drawing, like with some alcohol markers. Like you can see I didn't really put much effort into it because it's really streaky, and the sunflowers are just simple plain sunflowers. But it works because I can write down my numbers per day, and then I've got my totals over here. And yeah, as you can see, I've done a lot of stitches on my projects. And this one is in pencil because I still want to stitch today. And usually I end up around 20,000 stitches, but this month I did like at least 5,000 more than I usually do, because I was stitching in bed mainly. So yeah, because I was in bed so much this month. So yeah, that's my stitchy journal. It's almost full, as you can see. So I think one more month and then this one is full. Then I've got a new one already, a pink one, another bullet journal for to work on. Then I've got a whip in this one, which is the one I started today. I believe it's the green one. Yes, it's this one. So this is the whip that I'm working on. I'm testing out some new pencils that I bought. I've got like a full cup, like a really full cup of pencils. Also some old ones, like my polychromos that I already own. But yeah, basically I bought like 3 pencils for each brand that you can get open stock. So you can see I've got some Prismacolor over here. I've got some Caran d'Ache. Oh, this is Inktense. No, Lightfast. Derwent Lightfast. I got Luminance. I got Derwent Chromaflow. Some Holbein. Like basically everything that I could get open stock I've got here. I'm missing 2 of them. They're hopefully coming somewhere this week. And then I can test all of them because I really would like a second set as a backup, because my Polychromos, the one that I own right now, which is my main set that I use all the time, isn't working in some of my coloring books. It's a bit scratchy and it just doesn't like the paper. So I'm looking for a second set that work great in those books, so I can use those in those kind of coloring books and my Polychromos in others, or mix and match, you know, like that's basically the plan, that I pick out some colors I'm missing. So that's my only whip that will go into next month. So this is my new, no, is this my newest book? Maybe my second newest book this is. And I finally started it. As you can see, I colored already like 4 pages, but that's because I count these 2 pages as well. And I used them to test out my open stock pencils that I bought. I bought like a whole bunch of them. Like you see, these are all open stock pencils, and some of the ones that I already owned. Like there are some smaller ones from brands that I own, like Pablo, Polychromos, Lyra. Those kind of pencils I also stuck in here because I wanted to see which pencil would work best on the Erie paper, but also in my other books. Because right now I've got a full set of the Faber-Castell Polychromos, which I really like, but on the Erie book they don't work as well. And in my Nelco Naco book they do work, but not as well as I hoped. You can't layer as much, you know, because you ruin the paper. So I was hoping to find a other pencil that is open stock that also worked really nice. So you can see that I've written down which ones I tested. So I've written down the Faber-Castell black pencil, but also the fluorescent and pastel color. So some of them work great, others don't. Then the luminance, it has a bit of a texture, as you can see. But that's just the pencil, you know, it's a bit chalky-ish, but it's still really soft. So it's hard to explain, you know, it has, you can really see that it has a texture on top. But the pigment is so, like, it's so much pigment that it's easy to work with, even though it's like a bit not scratchy. You can see really what you're doing. So you have to do more layers because this is only a light layer. Then I've had the Derwent Color Soft. Yes, they are really soft, but they are not consistent in their pencil. Some pencils, they feel nice 1 minute, and then the next, all of a sudden, they have like these chalky bits in them. And then you get those really ugly black or grayish scratches on your paper. Maybe I can show you on my buddy page. Let's see where I had it, where you could see it. Yeah, I've got a little bit of it here. Do you see those grayish scratch marks? That's what I meant with, like, they're inconsistent, you know? Like, sometimes they just work fine, like the yellow part, and then they start scratching, and there's not much you can do about it. So yeah, they're not stable. But this is my buddy page with Fungus Love Color for August, but I already finished it on the 30th of July, as you can see over here. But that's because I really wanted to test my pencils out, because these are all the open stock pencils, except for the Ohu Halawa, because that one is not open stock. But it worked pretty nice in this paper. But yeah, as you can see, it also has a little bit of a scratch in it, but you know, you can't really tell. Like, that's a cat scratch, not from my pencil. But you can see that it's a little bit scratchy when you put more pressure on it. Then the Prismacolor laid down really well. The only problem with that is that I don't like the texture that it gives when you lay it down. But it is really nice. It feels nice. Then the Lightfast also felt pretty nice, but the pencil felt really soft. So yeah, it works great, but not my favorite because of that reason. Then you got the Chroma Flow. They work like a treat, you know, but they also have a little bit of a texture when you lay them down. They give pigment really easily, so I really like them on the Erie book. But yeah, I was testing them in a different book, and there they had like really texture. So I'm not convinced. They are really good, but also depending on the paper. So then we've got the Lila Rembrandt Polycolor. And they can be great, but they can also be scratchy at the same time. The same as with the colors of the same issue. They are not consistent. So one color, like that one, and that one. Like I chose 4 colors because I've got even more. I gave that set to my sister because I just don't like to use it. But some colors are perfectly fine. They're smooth as butter. And others, they start buttery and then they become scratchy all of a sudden, you know, when it dulls a bit. And I don't like it, you know, I like a consistent pencil. And then I also had the Pablo. I bought some open stock as well. And they work pretty okay, you know, they work better than the Polychromos on this paper. But they are similar in feel as the Polychromos. They're just a little bit less pigment than they normally give. But on this paper, they did really well. So yeah, it's not really bad, you know. And then I've got the luminance I already told you, the Holbein. That one I missed. That one laid down really well on this paper, as you can tell. Like, yes, it has a little bit of a texture, but I really like the feel of it. Like, this one feels a little bit like as if it's a bit sticky, you know. You've got a bit of resistance when you put it down, like it drags a bit. And the Prismacolor does that as well. And that one as well, but that's probably because they're more wax based and a lot softer. While that one, yes, it glides, but it has a bit more dry texture, but still really nice and soft. I really like that one on this paper. So I think my favorite so far on this paper is the Chroma Flow, because it's so easy to put down. And then I think the Holbein, followed by Prismacolor, Light Fast, and the luminance. Everything else was a bit meh on this paper. So it works, but not as well as you hoped. Even the Polychromos had a bit of trouble on this paper because I did a bigger section with it, like the green part. And I even had some little, like really tiny scratch marks, like as if the paper texture did that, you know, because I know the pencils are stable. But yeah, it's just something in the paper that does it. So you think it's fine, and then all of a sudden you had like little scratches, like over here. I'm not sure if you can tell. Like you can see a little bit of a shiny white scratches. No, you can't barely tell. But that was with the Polychromos. So I don't know why. It is something to do with the paper. But yeah, this is my body with Fungus Love Color. But she, of course, is nowhere near done because, yeah. You know, I finished this in July instead of August because I wanted to try all my pencils out. I thought it was a good thing to do because when I first opened this page, I had no idea what to do. I even wanted to test out watercolor, which I ended up doing here. I just put like a really nice thick layer down. As you can see, it didn't bleed through. So if you want to use straight up watercolor, you could. Because it was pretty wet, you know, and it turned out really nice. I wetted this part of the paper completely. And then I put down the color pretty thick. And still it held up. So if you want to do that, that's also an option. But I was scared to do it on the page because I didn't know what I wanted. And usually when I do watercolor, I want to know what I want to do before I start. Because then I can lay down like the base with the watercolor. So yeah, that's it for this book. So today's video is a bit of a mess because I made all these separate clips and they're all out of order. So I hope I can mix and match it into a video for you. But yeah, I forgot that my sister borrowed a book from me, which is this one. And she wanted to color a page that I did not like. And that was the page with the camel, this one. That's the one I did not like. As you can see, she's written down her name. Her name is Esther, and she calls herself Essie, and that's how I also call her. And yeah, she really wanted to try some videos that she saw on YouTube on this page. So she saw one for like the hills and the leaves. She saw one for this part and a part for the sky/pyramid. So she tried it out all on this page. She combined it basically, and she used her Lyra Rembrandt polycolor for it. As you can see, she really did a good job, you know, like look at all the details that she put in the camel. Yeah, so nice and soft. I was like, yeah, another page done without me doing anything. Woohoo! I was so happy. But yeah, look at that. It was really nice. She came today. Today is the 1st of August. So this is already the next day. And she brought me back the book. So I was like, oh, I should also record this. Because yeah, I forgot multiple things. So that's why you're seeing clips that are not coherent. So I hope you enjoy it anyway. Back to the video. Then we will start this time with my Disney books. So if you're not interested in my mystery books or don't want to see spoilers, I will say skip to this time. So I will insert a timestamp here for you to skip to. So I'll give you a few seconds to do. So let's start. I will start with this one, which is the collector's edition of the princess book. So it's the same pictures as in the mystery princess book from Hachette Heroes, but only like single-sided. So it's a hardcover book and it has everything single-sided. So this I did with alcohol markers because it is single-sided. See, there's nothing here and there's stuff over there. But let's see which pages we did this month in this book. Let's see, July, that was the other one. So I did 2 princess pages. I did number 8 and number 9, it looks like. So let's have a look at, oh, let's not close it because I need it again in a second. So number 8 and number 9. Let's see, what is number 8 and number 9? This is number 8. Oh, let me move it like this. That one I did with Tuliart. Yes, Tuliart paint markers. And number 9 I also did with my Tuliart paint markers. Yeah, so I had a lovely jasmine page. This was when I really wasn't feeling too well. I just wanted to do a princess instead of the other book. I was just not feeling well, so I wanted something that I liked. So I was like, yeah, a cat and a princess, what more can I want? My previous cat was a ginger cat, which was named Tiger. So yeah, Raja is like, it reminds me of him. So yeah, I was really happy to color this one, even though she's looking really surprised, just like him. Yeah, that's all I did in this book for this month. Then next up, I've got the Grand Classique book, which was the first book in the series, I believe, in 2015, it looks like. Yeah, I think they were there. Yeah, I believe they were already in 2012 as well, but I can be wrong, not sure. But yeah, it looks like it is the first one. So I think it was the first one. So 2015 they started making these books. And which one did I do? I did page number 12. Page number 12 I did, which is on this side. King Arthur or Merlin. I'm not sure which one it is. One of those two. The sword in the stone, basically. So yeah, I really enjoy doing this page, but it's a bit glary. Don't know why. Maybe if I adjust my lamp. No, that gets worse. No, never mind. I'll just do like this. But yeah, I really liked it. There's also some green, like dots, like magic. It was really easy, but really fun. So yeah, that was the first page I did. Then I did page 14, 15, and 16. So this one I skipped, probably because that is a buddy with Fungus Love Color on Instagram. So I did this one from Pocahontas, John Smith. Yeah, this was fun. Even though, again, it's very simple, but pretty, you know, really pretty. I liked it. And then I did 2 more pages over here. First one is from Finding Nemo. A bit more complicated, but still fun. even though Pixar movies are not my most favorite. And then we've got the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Oh my goodness, that was hard to pronounce. A real tongue twister. But yeah, there are some splashes of paint here and there. So that was that one. Did I do anything else? Let's see. I did 2 more. Page 84. 84. Oh, this one. I did this in the beginning of July. Yeah, the first week of July. And that's my cat talking to me. I hope she won't pop up. If she does, we will get to that. So yeah, this one I did in the first week of July. It's from Cusco, the Emperor's New Groove. It's the villain, the woman, which transforms in a little cat. I love the evil look. With a little flask. And then we can hold it like this. And then I did this one, also in the beginning of July. Those were like my 2 buddy pages with Fungus Love Color on Instagram. But I don't believe she finished her Scar page. She did finish her Cusco page, the little cat. I'm not sure if I can find the picture. If I do, I will put it here. But it's a different one than mine because we are coloring in different books. We just color the same character. But yeah, this is just fun. Look at them. Scar with his little mouse. Yeah, definitely my favorite of this month for my Disney book. And that was it. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. Yes, I did 8 pages in total in my mystery books this month. So now for the people that just joined back in because they don't want to see the mystery books, we are going on with my next book, which is by Maria Troll, called Luna. It's my only book from Maria Troll. And this month, I think I did a buddy with Fungus Love Color on Instagram. Yes, I did. Because this was the page that I already finished at the end of June. As you can see, 29th of June. And I did it all with paint markers, the Guangna. I did this also for the Wild Year of Color 2025. And the theme was deer. As you can see, there's a little white deer. And I also painted like a little white spot so I can put the page number on both sides. But yeah, this one I already showed you last month. And I used the same colors also on this side. As you can see, I've got a lot of leaves of the tree that I didn't color at all because it just gives a nice contrast with the lovely pinks. I really like the dots that I did on the background. And the white deer is my favorite. That was like the main focus point for me. But yeah, I really like using my alcohol markers. My paint markers in this book. But the Guangna markers are easier to control for like more detailed areas. The tip of the Tuli art isn't that... I damaged my book. Uh-oh. It's fine. It's still okay. So yeah, that was my page in Luna. Or 2 pages in Luna, I should say. But I only count 1. So that was that one. Let me put that there. Let's take out the... I thought I had another one. Didn't I? Yeah, I had another one over here. Let's collect them on the side so I don't have to search for them. Then my next one is Midsummer Coloring Book by Jeon Jin, which is a Korean artist. And I did my very first page in this book, which is this lovely hamster page. And as you can see, I basically followed all the colors except for I added a bit more purple and red in the flowers. So mine are a little bit different than the original. I used my Faber-Castell Polychromos. This was before I got sick. I was already not sleeping well, but I felt a lot better while doing this because this was pretty tedious. I don't know why, but I did enjoy it in the end. But finding all those hamsters was difficult because there are a lot of them. They are cute though. I really like them, especially the blue one. I like that one. And the one in the sand. Yeah, I like it. I'm really happy with this page. So that was the first one in this lovely book, Midsummer Coloring Book. There are more of this in the series, and I've got 2. I also have the Autumn Picnic one. I did not color in that one this month. Next up, I've got my Clara Markova book, Orchard Full of Fairies, which is her newest book in the series. What are you doing, Kat? She's seeing something. I'm not sure. But I believe this is the color along that I did this month. Yes, it is. It's the color along for Christmas in July. And I used the Calour macaron set and a brown, I believe, from the normal Calour pencils to add in a little bit of a darker tone in the mix. So yeah, I really think she's so sweet with her blush. Like, look at that. And him. Yeah, that's my favorite of the whole page. But yeah, it turned out really cute. Exactly how I wanted it. Nice pastel colors. So I hope the color will stay, because my friend told me that the Calour will disappear within a year. So maybe I will put some fixative on it, and maybe that will help, because I would be sad if this would be gone within a year. Then I did it all for nothing. But yeah, I will spray it once I get my new spray box thing can, because my old one was empty. So that's my Clara Markova, the only one that I did this month. And then I've got this book, which was recently acquired in this month, July. And I did more than just, come on, work with me. I did these 2 pages, or these little 2 elements. I colored those in, like really simple. And then I made my overview. But yeah, I also counted those pages, I believe, the first few, did I? Yes, I also counted those. No, I didn't count these. I count from the next one. So yeah, I started this on the 26th of July. For me, it's a new book. And I started with this double page spread, which is not officially the beginning of the coloring book. But for me, it is, because look at this. Like a double page spread. I thought, like, let's color it. And then I found out that there's another one just like it further down in the book. I added in some gold pencil on some of the birds and on the wheel of the wagon. Not sure if you can tell. Maybe a little bit. In the stars as well. Yeah, you can see it a little smidge. It's not that metallic, but you can see, if I do the book like that, you can see it shine. So I added it in all over the page. I really like how I did the air balloons. Just really simple. I left a lot uncolored because they're paper birds, you know. I really like the look of this, like this. The thing I do not like is how bright this is. It's a bit too bright. Like when I look at the page, the pinks are much brighter than on camera. Like this is a lot brighter, and the dark purple is a lot more in your face. But on the screen it looks a bit off. Like if I do it like this, you can see a little bit more of the pink, but not much. But yeah, in person it looks better than on camera. This just like pops out. So I might put my eraser on it to lighten it up. But I do like the brightness, so maybe I'll keep it. And then I did these 2. That's what I want to say. I did these 2 little elements on the page because they are officially not like counted as coloring pages, because it starts with this one officially. But yeah, why not color this as well, you know? So yeah, that's my first double page spread done. It's done with Faber-Castell Polychromos, and the gold one is from the Ohuhu Lava set. They work really well in combination, the Ohuhu and the Polychromos. But yeah, the Ohuhu is a bit crumbly when you put too much pressure on it, and it can feel a tiny bit scratchy if you push too much as well. They're not as smooth as the Polychromos, so they're definitely not the same, but you can still get nice results with them. Okay, so we are going to start with my sister's book, which is this lovely book, the Brown Bear Wood Coloring and Spotting Book, illustrated by Freya Hartes. I also have the books with the pictures in it, the illustrations, and I did the background of this page for her. Like she colored the trees and the little animals. That's where she started. And she asked me if I could do the background for her. So that's what I did. So yeah. She wants to do the trees herself and the holes. So I left them all white so she can enjoy it. So that was my first project of the month. And yeah, it was a lot tougher than it looked. Especially like those little flowers in the background. You can barely see them even. But yeah, it was a lot of work, but fun. It was a fun challenge. And many more to go. So that's my sister's book. She also got herself a new book that she still needs to unwrap. That's her other bear book. It's a Korean book. Okay. Then I've got my body color in this book with Fungus Love Color on Instagram and The Art of Momo on YouTube. And we did... No, not that one. We did this page. So this is mine. And as you can see, it's really dark. I only used alcohol markers, see? But there are really dark blues here in the sky. And really dark browns, but it almost looks black, but it really isn't. And I used a color palette that I picked from these color cubes. Cards. Let me pull them out for you so you can see them. These were the ones that I picked because the Art of Momo already had some of the colors in this color scheme on her page. So I picked colors that fit with that because she couldn't remove it anymore. So I picked multiple so that you've got also a few warm tones, a few greens, because she also had greens in her leaves. So yeah, that's why I used these colors. I made only the choice to add in a little bit of a brighter reddish tone. But yeah, I like how it turned out. I'm really happy with like the glow effect that is coming from, well, from this point. I'm imagining that she and her violin is making magic for the flowers to become magical and like bloom open, you know. That was the idea that I had. I really like how I did all the little dots in the background. So yeah, that is mine. And then these two are for my buddies. I will put them side to side for you. On the left, we've got Fungus Love Color on Instagram. And she did like this magical feeling as well, but in a totally different way with purples and blues. Really pretty as well. Like, oh, how can we do something so different from each other, you know? Like, I love it. This is why I love body colors. Like, I might use those colors on maybe a different page, you know, with a lot of leaves. Because it's nice. It's really nice. And then we've got the Art of Momo on the right side. And she was afraid she might not be able to finish her page. But I think she did. But she said she forgot to shade a few leaves on the top left. But if you ask me, I don't see it, you know. Like, for me, it looked finished. I thought it was intentional, you know. But yeah, hers is like completely different again than ours. She had like the green clover leaves, like how they're supposed to be. Like, that was already her base. So she worked it out with more layers. And I think she did a great job. So at least she got her struggle page out of the way. And she said our pages helped inspire her a little bit. So I really hope it helped. Because, yeah, these pages can be tough, you know. So yeah, then we move on. Then I've got my focus book, Labyrinth, Mythographic Labyrinth. I'm making this my focus book the rest of the year, or as long as I feel like it, because that's the question. I don't know if I feel the need to do this all year long, but for now it is, because this is my least favorite of the ones that I own. But let me see. These are pages that I flagged for next month that I might do, but let's see which ones I did. Oh yeah, I did this one. I did this one with Ohuhu markers. As you can see, it's all Ohuhu marker. And then I added some watercolor on top. So I did like gold sparkle on everything that's yellow. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. And I also put in like pink glitter on the fish. Yeah, you can see it if I do like this. I did it really subtle, you know, like not in your face. Like I didn't add in any glitter on this part. I only added it in on the front bits, like these, like here, and on the boat, the little flowers, stars, and over here. So it's really subtle, but still really nice. I like the glitter. It on the girl it looks a bit weird, like this. You can see the glow of the light, but yeah, if you turn it like this, it looks fine. So yeah, I really had a lot of fun with this page. I was thinking that maybe this was a bit too dark, but in the end it turned out, because it gave the picture a little bit of depth. And that's what I wanted. I wanted her and the fish to stick out. And this one, because I really like this element. Maybe it's not meant to be the focus, but I liked it anyway. So that was the first page that I did. And then I did this one at the end of July, the 28th. And this is a color along on my channel. And again, alcohol markers. And this one I only used alcohol markers because it's a color along in which I show you how to color mythographic with alcohol markers. So let me hold it a bit closer for you so you can see a little bit more. As you can see, I did go over the lines here and there, like over there with the tree trunk. You can see a little bit. Like it's not as neat, you know, like, but it's not necessary. Like I've got a paint splatter or a ink splatter over there. It's okay, you know, to make mistakes. It still looks really nice in total, you know. The whole picture itself is still pretty, even though it's not like really perfect, but the effect speaks for itself. I really like the look of this, you know, like the warm browns, almost orange like, and then the bright pinks in her hair. I really like this. The only thing I don't like as much is the background. I think it would have been better if I would have gone from like yellow to a really light green, maybe. Not sure. But I did it this way and I still like it. It was just a little bit different than I imagined. I also tried to add in some glitter with like my blender, but it turned out to be a little bit ugly stains, as you can see over here. It didn't turn out as well because there's not much color. Like there are also two over here. But yeah, it didn't have the effect that I wanted. It usually works a lot better on like darker colors. But on these light tones, it doesn't work. So yeah, that was my second page in my mythographic labyrinth book. And those were my two first pages, both done in the same month. So as you can see, I made again my scheme in the front of the page or the book. So I can mark off which ones I've done. And that's what I like to do, to keep track of how far I am. So that's my labyrinth book by Joseph Kettenbang. Then, next up, we have Nelko Neko, the story of a precious cat. And I did a color along in this book this month, which is this lovely page, the bubble page, as it's being called by other people. I called it the wash tub because of this thing, but they called it the bubbles page. Yeah, funny me, huh? So yeah, if you want to color this the same as I did, I've got a color along on my YouTube channel. It's two parts. In the first part, I'm using my Paul Rubens watercolor for basing everything in the background, the foreground, basically everything. And then in the second part, I took my polychromos pencils and colored on top. And it looked really vibrant and nice. I really like the combination of the watercolor with the polychromos. So that's my new strategy for this book. Watercolor first and then my polychromos pencils on top. But as you can see, I did multiple colors in the bubbles. And look at those faces. I love it. Yeah, I really like this book. And for next month, I really hope to do the other page that was chosen, which is the treehouse. We did this one. It's also a color along. And this one already was picked as well. So I'm behind with this one, but I don't see it as being behind. It's just like they picked this, so I want to do this one. And for July and August, they picked the one with the flowers. This one, the flower kitties, the huge butterfly. So yeah, this is really cute, but this is for July and August. So I'm not sure if I will first do this one and then the treehouse, or if I do the treehouse first. I have no idea. I have no idea if I will even do it in August, because it wasn't on my plan just yet. I will just see how I feel. I might not. I'm not gonna pinpoint myself, but yeah, that's Nelko Neko, Story of a Precious Cat. And then you just keep going, people. Like I've got so many books here, a huge stack of books. I colored 2 pages in this book this month because I really want to do a double page spread that I've got planned for next month. It's the book, coloring book of Friends in the Fairy Tale Forest Full of Flowers, or as I call it, Secret Invitation, by Natsuki. So I finally translated it. And I really want to do this page next month. So because this chapter of the mouses is my favorite story, like you can see, story 1. So this is my favorite story in the book. So I usually have the habit to pick like a page I don't like and then one I do like. But because this is a double page spread, I was like, no, Pauline, you first have to do 2 pages that you don't really like in this book. So I picked 2 pages, and they are this one with the pelican. I just didn't like it. I don't know why, but it turned out really nice, like really vibrant, really nice. I used my Ohuhu lava pencils for this one. And yeah, they're really vibrant, as you can tell. They still work just fine. We've got a little bit of a texture on this paper. They're not as smooth, you know. But I could have blended it out more, but I like the light colors. So that was the first one I did in this book. And then the other one that I did in this book is this one. And for this one, I used a combination of my Ohuhu pencils and my Polychromos. As you can see, I gave the mouse the same colors at the beginning of the book. And I chose really vibrant colors for the lion. And then a brown owl. At first I thought maybe a white owl with yellow, but these kind of eyebrows, those owls are usually brown. So I was like, okay, let's go brown then, because I didn't want them both to be brown. So I chose a bit more neutral for him and a warmer tone for the deer with some more yellow tones as well. So yeah, I really like the tablecloth. At first I didn't, but now that I look at it again, I do. And I like the background with, well, the bushes, not the sky. I think it looks a bit foggy, you know, like it's about to rain, which it definitely isn't. But yeah, I had fun on this page, even though I thought I wouldn't, especially with the little mouse and the tablecloth. I like doing those, and the teacups, or the hot chocolate milk, as I would like to call it. It probably is coffee, but I just pretend it's chocolate milk. So yeah, I've done 2 pages now, and now I'm allowed to do my double page spread next month. I allow myself to do my favorite now. So yeah, let me put that on the other stack, because my books are gliding off the stack because there's so many. Okay, next up I've got an Apple book. It's a Korean artist, and it's her 4th book in her collection. Nee, Bibi. Nee, spook. Nee. My cat is meowing. I'm not sure if you heard her. Her name is Spooky. But yeah, this is the 4 Seasons coloring book by Apple. And I did this page. This was the page that I really liked in this book. And I was not feeling so well. So I was like, yeah, let's just color something I like. So I did this little girl. As you can see, I switched out some colors. I made it a little bit brighter. I made a highlight over there. And yeah, mine is a lot brighter than the original. I like it, you know. I just think of this like, this is more like me, myself, and this is more like my sister. She likes the muted colors in her style of dressing. So yeah, this is us too. I really like it. Look at her face. It's all done with Faber-Castell Polychromos. So yeah, these are all the colors that I used in case you want to do the same colors. So you can make a screenshot. And that's my first page done in this book. I'm really happy about that, see? First one. So yeah, that's April. So that's another uncolored book gone. Then another book that was new to me was this one. Desert Fox Sogeyomi, Mysterious Journey by Salt or Unby Park. This was also a new book for me last month, and I didn't color in it then, or straight away. I colored in it a few weeks later when I got it, and I did this page. So this is the original, and this is how I colored it. So mine is like a lot more, not as pink purple, but more like blue purple. You can especially see that in the water. Mine is more blue. But I like how it turned out. I think the street I like a lot better than the original. Like, it is a lot more brown on this side. Like, this part I do not like in mine. I think I messed up that a little bit. It should have been more brown, but because I did the same colors in here, I pulled them through, you know. It's not ugly or anything, but I like it, you know. I like the little characters. I think it's nice. It turned out pretty nice. Especially if you think I was being ill. Like, I was still being so creative. I used a little bit of paint pen on the white because at some point my highlights disappeared. So I used a few, and I also did that on the water to get those effects back because they disappeared after layering so many layers of pencil. You can really see how I layered my polychromos over and over again. So yeah, that was fun. I really like those books. I really like to replicate what's on the left. So that's my first page done in this lovely book. And I'm sure it won't be the first or the last one. It will probably be more. Then I've got the other book that I was gonna color in August, but I couldn't help myself. So yeah, I started this book, which is the newest book by Green Ivy. And I started this at the end of the month, as you can see. And I did one page, and it's pretty far in the back now that I look at it. And it's this lovely page. Like where they flying in the suitcase, and I used both my Ohuo pencils and my Polychromos pencils. As you can see, I made a really nice selection of both. I really wanted pastel colors, so yeah, I also added it in really lightly. As you can see, I made some beams of sunlight all over the page, like over there and over there. I really like the birds. But yeah, I also made like really, you can really see the pencil texture in the background. I did that on purpose. And then in the foreground, it's more smoothed out and more blended out. I really like it. Like, I like her color of her head. I like the bear's face. The little birds, they're really nice as well with the pink on their chest. Yeah, I had fun with this page. I really had a lot of fun. I really like it. It just made me really happy. I was just like, yeah, let's do what makes me happy. I just don't care anymore. I just wanted to do what I felt like. So yeah, I colored in both books that I just owned. Like, they literally came in the day before or something, you know. And then I've got another Green Ivy book. This is the first book in her series. And it's called Nostalgia. It's a hardback. It's really thick. And the paper is really nice. Like, look at that. It's really thick. So yeah, as you can see, I already did 3 pages now in this book. So that's already quite a lot. But I think I did 2 this month. Let me do it like this. That's a bit easier probably. Let me flip. Yeah, I did this one. With only my Ohuo pencils, I think. And 2 Polychromos. Yes, 2. This one and that one was Polychromos. Everything else is Ohuo. They work really well together. As you can see, they color pretty nicely on this paper. Let me take a look closer up. You can see how they blend in, you know, the Ohuo. They're pretty okay, you know, like, yeah, a bit scratchy on her, but that was my mistake, you know, like, that's me. And like a little cat. Yeah, I really like this page. I didn't want it to be like the original. I just think it's a bit dull. And I didn't want her dress to be like that light color. I just wanted like happy colors. So that's what I did. And I love it. It's called Knock Knock. And then I did this page. Again, I chose like all the happy colors. That was the month of the happy colors, I think, this month. I just loved using all the pastels and other colors. Let me turn this for you. This is the original. really muted colors. And the little chicken over there. Or the hen. It's a hen, right? The little cat. I really like it. So yeah, on this one I only used Ohu Halawa. They work really well in this book, as you can tell. But yeah, I just wanted the light tones, as you can see. Lovely light tones. But they look nice, you know. Like, I barely put any color down and it still looks nice. I just like to color these as simple as possible. I made some patterns on her dress, as you can tell. I really like the little girl. I don't like her legs. I like the chicken and the little birdies. So yeah, that was my second page for this one. And that's all I did in this book. So I did 2 pages this month in this lovely book. And now we're going into the simple books, as I call them. My other books. So yeah, my first one is the Draglings book by Randal Spangler. This month was the Randal Spangler event for diamond painters. It's called the Draglings and Books, I believe. I'm not sure. But yeah, that started in the beginning of July and lasted all month. Let's see. So yeah, this is what I colored off. I think I've done more than that by now. Let's see. I started with this one. The 1st of July. I started with this one with Ohu Halawa pencils. So yeah, this is all done with the Ohu pencils. So you can see they color really well. It's really not as bad, you know, like it works great on Amazon paper as well. So yeah, I've been using them a lot this month. But this was the first page that I've done in the month. I was really happy with it. And then the second one I did was on the 8th of July for week number 2. And yeah, I decided I wanted like yellowy green in the background. And then I was like, no, I don't like it. And I put blue over it and some tealish green. And then it turned out like this, because this is giving up light in my, like that, you know. That's what I was trying to do. That's why there's also yellow over here. But yeah, it didn't turn out that great with the light effect. But I still like it, you know. Like, I like the blanket. I like the dragon and the pillow behind him. The little lamps I like. It was nice. It was a nice experience. And then in the 4th week of the month, which was on the 21st, like I didn't color anything in between. I used my alcohol markers because I just couldn't be bothered by using pencils. And I don't like it. I don't like the end result. Like, I like the book. That's what I like. And I like this book. But everything else, like, it's just a mismatch of colors. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I don't like it. But yeah, I did a lot of marker on this. But it's done. Let's say it's done. But that's all I did, see? I did no more. I only did 3 this month. I had 5 planned, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I didn't force myself. So I did 3 pages in this book. That's also a focus book of mine till the end of the year. Hopefully I will get a lot more done. Then next up is the Brambley Hedge book, Nature, by Jill Barklam. It's based on the Brambley Hedge story books. And I did this lovely page with the mouse and all the shells. I did this with my Paul Rubin watercolor. But I used like a tiny brush, like really tiny. And I used as little as water as possible. But yes, you can see I did multiple colors on the shells. But over here with this and the boat, it went through a little bit. So if you use too much water, you get a little bit of bleed. Like over here, you can barely see it. There's like tiny freckles of the brown. And over here is the same. You can barely see it over here. But yeah, that's what happens if you make it too wet. So you really, I think watercolor pencils would be better than straight up watercolor. So if you do it, be really careful with the water you apply. Because if you apply just a tiny smidge too much, it goes through. So keep that in mind. But I do like it, you know. I do like the simple look of it with my watercolor. So I will keep doing it. But yeah, I have to remind myself. Not too much water. I like the little mouse. She's so happy with all her shells. So that's all I did in this book. after my disaster in the beginning of the book, because this was like not fun. Not a disaster in is how it turned out, but a disaster how it felt. I didn't like coloring in it with my pencils. So yeah, then my next one is A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson. It's my only book that I own by him. And I like the frog very much. And I did a buddy with Fungus Love Color on Instagram. But yeah, it looks really nice, like it is right now. But when I started this page, you can even hear it. I put water down, like you can still see it over here, like how crinkly it is. I put water on the entire page. You can also see here, like the waves. Like, oh my goodness, there's even like folds in the paper that you can barely see now. So I did a good job hiding it. But yeah, there are folds in it. You can still see, like over here, there's like a whole bubble, you know, like of paper still sticking out. But yeah, I let it dry. The moment I saw that it was ruined, I will put a picture here of what it looked like when it was wet. And that was already after drying it for a little while. But I just let it air dry, because otherwise it would have been much worse. And then, once it was really dry, I added in my alcohol markers. But at first I didn't do like this black border. But it was so crinkly that you could really see the water like seeping. Like, you could see the edge of the water like this, you know. It was really ugly. So you could see where the water had seeped in. So I decided to do this. You can still see it on his face. You see the little wrinkle over here. And there are more of them. They're also here in the background. You can still feel the crinkles that have folded on each other. Like here, there were a lot of them. But yeah, I did manage to save it in the end with my alcohol markers. But oh boy, I was like, what did I do? Like, I tell everybody to test in the back of the book, and what do? I just smack it on the page. But I'm happy with the result, so that's what matters. But yeah, my buddy did this to her page. And I like that as well. I might try to do that on my one in the back, if I feel like it, because right now I think I will only color the first section of the book and then decide if I'm done with it or not, because I don't like coloring a picture twice. So that was my buddy in A Frog's Tale. Another one. And then my last book, I hope, yes, I think it is out of the Hannah Lynn Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings. And I did the Cinderella page, the one on the front. So this is my colored page. I really wanted the colors that we're used to with Cinderella, the blue. So that's what I tried to do. I used mostly alcohol markers, as you can see. And I used a little bit of paint marker, like silver paint marker on like her jewels. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. And on the flowers. The butterflies, the little bits on the butterflies. But I don't think you can really see. You can see it on her bodice, like over here. That's really nice. I like how it turned out, you know. I really like what I did with the background. Cloud effect. Yeah, I think it's nice, you know. This really reminds me of the Cinderella movie. Like, this is too much for me. That's not my style. This is more my style. So I'm happy with the result. And I'm glad to have a page done again after so long. So yeah, I hope to keep going, you know. Do a page here and there during the year. And if not, I don't know what I will do. Maybe I'll get rid of it. I'm not sure yet. But I would love to finish it, even though I don't like it as much. But yeah, I think that was all that I did this month. Let's have a look. I think it is. Yes. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think that was everything. So for next month, I have my spreads. I already showed you this, I think. But I'll show you again. I already have my spread done. And I've got all my bodies written down. And I also already written down the hashtags. And my challenge. My Disneyland Tour challenge for my mystery books. But yeah, as you can see, I've got the colored fairy tales hashtag. I've got 5 books picked, but I'm not sure if I want to do them. That's why there's nothing written down. But for this one, I did write down something with pencil, just in case I want to do it. And this is for extra plans. So yeah, they're not filled in. I also already decorated the one for September, but I did like a completely different look. I did more with brown and simple, like these are stickers from April. And then I did this for like the month itself with also some stickers over there. I really like the simplicity, you know. And then another spread for my plants, as you can see. And I already made a few boxes, so I know what style I wanted to use. So yeah, really simple for September, but we're nowhere near September yet. We're only going into August. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching my completed pages. And I would love to see you for my next video. So thank you for watching. And until next time, bye bye.